The next thing that we wanted to talk about, Andy, is interactivity. This is a really, kind of interesting thing, which we had back in the day with Microsoft Stream Classic, which was the ability to embed a form in your video. And essentially, the way that it worked was you would go in the timeline of your video and you would add a form manually, and then the video would essentially stop. It would display that full form, you would complete the form, and then it would pick up where it left off. So Microsoft has given us that ability again, but they've done one better with something called callouts as well. So if I go into edit mode right here, and then we go to video settings, this is one of those options that you're going to turn on or off, just like chapters, just like the about section or comments. It's a toggle. So you're going to want to turn it on, and then you get the interactivity menu item along the side. Once I have that interactivity, I'm able to add either a form or a call out. I think I'm going to start with a call out instead. So if I go to the call out, you see that it added this kind of yellow box. It's almost like a sticky note or something, and I can move it around on the screen here wherever I want to. I can change the color of that. I'm just going to call it a sticky note, but that call out box, and I can enter whatever I want. This is an important part, and I could basically highlight that section, and I can decide when it's going to start and when it's going to go away. So by default, it does 10 seconds long. And if I wanted to change that to I want it to be at the 12-minute mark, I would just click this little arrow, and it would pull that call out to the current point in time. And then it would do it for, it did it for 1 second. So I could decide how long I want that call out to be. So 13 minutes. And now I've got a call out that is essentially, 42 seconds long. And you'll see that it's got the call out right there. Now I can click the save button, and I've basically added a little call out that says this is important. Now, one thing that this could be really good for is clarifying a detail, right? Where if I, say that I mentioned, I messed up, right? And I said the word, I was demonstrating loop, but maybe I said the word Notion instead, right? So I said something, but I meant something else. I could totally just go in here and say, I meant loop, not Notion, right? So I can kind of add that as a hey, dummy, you were talking about something else. So you're kind of adding an annotation, or something like that. The other thing you can do is the call out can be sort of a less disruptive call to action, right? So if you want to highlight a PowerPoint slide deck or something like that, say this is a presentation against a set of slides, I could say let's add a new interactivity right here. Whoops. This is difficult because I keep hearing myself talk. Let me refresh the page because I messed up my interactivity. So let's add a new call out, and then we could say download these slides here. Then everybody wants to know in a recording for a town hall or something, where are the slides? Can I get these slides? Well, you can search for a document right here. So I don't know. Okay, let's say that I've got my Copilot, slide deck right here, and I want to add that. There's the link to that particular slide deck. I hit save, and now that's a clickable link as well. So whenever I'm back in my viewing area, let's go back to the way the audience would see it. You'll see two things. The first is there's these little markers, these little Post-it notes. That's what Andy was talking about, these timeline markers when there's something that you want to call attention to, right? And we'll see what it looks like in a Teams meeting. But this tells me there's something clickable, or there's a call out right here. So if I click on that, it jumps me to that section, and now I can click on it, and it's going to open up and download that slide deck for me. So that's really helpful for, hey, do you want these slides? Click on this link to get to them. Now you can also add any link you want to as well. So like if I was going to do something here and go into interactivity, add a call out, and I was going to say like check out our Viva Engage community, I could put in like HTTPS Viva, what is it, like engage.cloud.microsoft, I think is the link. So you can put any link into here and it makes it clickable. You just got to kind of put like the whole HTTPS:// in front of it that tells it that it's a URL, and then it wraps it in that clickable thing for you. This is something I do at EY where we've got an onboarding video for Microsoft Copilot, and we want people to go to our Viva Engage community to ask questions. So in the recording for that, I put at the end, visit us on Viva Engage to connect with us. So that's a real world example, is sending people out to like a call to action or something like that. So that's clarifying some detail, like you mess something up, linking out to a resource like a supporting slide deck or a Word document, and then like getting people to go to a Teams community, Viva Engage group, a call to action like signing up for something like that. Now
Let's
the
try a
other,
few different link types. I want to
okay,
try to break it. I want
all right,
to
yeah,
kind of test it. So one of the things that I don't particularly like is that I can't give it a clean display name and kind of mask the URL.
yeah, that
It's
is
pretty long.
annoying.
So I want to try a few different things. So like let's
Okay,
open a new tab and let's just go
okay,
to like Microsoft Stream Learning or something like that.
okay,
So one of the behaviors that's actually built into Edge is when you go to copy a URL,
mm-hmm.
it tries to like mask that URL a little bit. So this is a
Uh-huh.
pretty small URL. So let's take that and then let's see how the copy paste works, bringing that one into it.
Okay. So
So
it just took the raw URL on there.
all right. So let's try that again. But
Mm-hmm.
go in this tenant, go and open up Outlook and create a
Okay.
new message and paste the URL into Outlook.
Okay. Sure. All right. So we're going into Outlook. We're starting a new email, and I'm going to paste that link in. So you see, it's the title of the page, but
Okay.
it's a clickable link where if I go in here to edit link, it's that learn.microsoft.com. Yeah.
All right, so let's
So,
take it in the format that it is there, and let's see what happens when we bring that back in.
okay. So I copied that, it's HTML, pasted it in. It just did it as raw text. So it's stripped out like the
Yeah.
ahref portion of it.
All right, let's try
So,
one more variety of this. So
okay.
we inserted a link, like we did the add document option in the right hand panel over there, and like we were kind
Mhm.
of able to search for it, but intuitively we're going to have to explain that particular part to a lot of our end users because it's add
Mhm.
document and search, but there's no like icon, identification, like where am I searching for the document from. I know that means the cloud, the Microsoft Cloud,
Mhm.
Teams, SharePoint, and OneDrive, but end users, sometimes we don't spell it out ex- um, explicitly for them. They're not going to catch that. So what I want to
Mhm.
do is let's go into like OneDrive or SharePoint, and let's do the copy link option. Let's grab one of the links from the share.
Okay. Okay, so like I've got this video right here, and I'm going to copy the link to that
Yeah.
video. So
Now,
if I open a new tab, you see how long that is,
yeah,
and it's like all kinds of like gibberish, right? Because it's a unique URL. So you want me to paste that in?
yep.
So that's what that looks like.
Yeah.
And it is clickable. Like if I get out of here and hit OK, it is clickable, right? So like it highlighted for me. But yeah, like people aren't going to know what the heck that is. So you would want to go in and edit that text, and you want to be like, download this file here. And you'd want to do something like this where you're telling people like what it is. So like this slide deck, right? You want to tell them like what's on the other
Yeah.
side of that link. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. And one
Okay.
more thing, go back to Outlook one more time. So we still
Okay.
got that same link in the clipboard. Just
Hmm.
go in the white space down below the current link that you have there, and
Hmm.
insert that link, that the one that's in the
Oh,
clipboard. Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
and watch what happens when we do this. This is foreshadowing because it's a
Yeah. It
video file.
unfurls the URL so you can watch it in the email.
Can you go back to OneDrive and grab like a Word document or a PowerPoint
Yeah.
presentation?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So here's a PowerPoint presentation from a while ago. We're going to copy that link. And then I'm going to paste that in. There we go. So it's the PPT right
Yeah,
there. But you can see if I edit the link, it's that big long, URL. It did the same thing as like, what the Edge tab did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, one of the things I'm kind of building up to with this line of thought is
Hmm.
when we're using like the new Outlook or Outlook on the web and we're inserting links into like the body of a message, they are not only changing the link from the large link that no one really reads to the more user friendly name of the item slash location, but it's
Hmm.
also in some cases doing a check to see if that link's going to work for people on the other side using the share command. So is it
Yeah.
an anyone link? Is it people in this org, specific people, and so forth? And we get some controls built into Outlook to be able to manage that link when we're putting it in the body of the message. Going back to that stream and that call out, and I know this is like really early days for that interactivity, but I would really
Hmm.
like to see the same level of control that we get like in Outlook with a shared link in the controls around that. I'd like to see that come into the call out so that we could have some cleaner links and have the share command built right in so that it kind of homogenizes the sharing experience. Even when we're doing a call out inside of a video, I think that would be
Hmm.
really helpful to kind of make this a seamless experience across M365.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I would like to be able to have it say like download this slide deck, and then I could just, this is pretty universal, right? Select the text that says slide deck, and then on my Mac, I'd be able to do Command K, right, or Control K on a PC, and have it be like, what do you want the URL to be, and it would like paste it in. That would be really nice. Then to just like underline it, like every other website works.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Daryl's asking if it supports things like rich text and hyperlinks. So like bold italics, underlines, strike through, and so forth.
No. Unfortunately not, at least not that I've found. So if I use like Command B for bold, underline, italicize, so B, U, and I didn't do anything. Yeah, so it's pretty plain text, and you initially you can do text and you can do a hyperlink by pasting it in. You can shortcut that hyperlink by searching along the side, right? So like, what was it? Live events in Yammer or something like that, or there's like this Copilot one. All that's doing is just like putting in the link to that. It's not doing anything special other than just helping me find the URL.
So early days, great start. I think
Yeah.
we got some decent feedback to send over to the team that's working on this, but
Hmm.
appreciate the effort they're putting into it. And I like being able to have a call out in the video for a lot of the same reasons that
Hmm.
you mentioned. That's just really helpful to be able to direct people toward the right content. So are
Yeah.
we ready to talk about the other version of interactivity?
Yes. So the other half is adding a Microsoft form. So when I went to add new, you have add form as well. So let's click on that. And essentially, it's just, hey, what's your link to your Microsoft form? So if you already have a form, you could go get that URL. You could paste it in right here as well. Or if you don't have one yet, then you can go create one. It gives you like a place to go create. So I don't have one. I'm going to click it. It goes to forms.microsoft.com. And then I can open up a new form and I can create that right here. Actually, you know what? Let's do it from Copilot because I want to show that instead. So
Yeah.
we got a new video right here. Say that I want like a quiz for this. So I'm going to hit add new. I'm going to add a form. And then I'm going to click go to Microsoft Forms. And yeah, got it. So I'm going to make a new form. And then Copilot comes up because this is a place where I have Copilot. So I can say like make a 5-question quiz about wind farms, right? Let's see what it does. So this is really helpful if you've got Copilot. You can have it like make your form for you. Takes a lot of the heavy lifting out of it if you want. But this would be super nice is by going back and forth. One thing you can do to get creative with Copilot is you could go into Copilot based off the transcript and say, hey, Copilot, give me 5 questions about this video in the form of a quiz, make them multiple choice, and tell me which one is the right answer. Right. So that gives you like in text, here's what your quiz is. Then you could go into forms and you could paste that in, and essentially get your quiz built that way. So I'm going to keep this, and there's my little like multi-question quiz that I want to do. I'm going to click collect responses, and I'm going to copy that link. Now I go back to my video, and I'm going to paste that link in, and I want it to be at this point in time, and I want to click that. So this is how things worked in Stream Classic, right? You've got the form right here. Once it hits that point in the video, it's going to stop the video. It's going to take you to the form and actually render the form for you. And then once you are done completing the form, it will continue to the video, and then you can keep watching. This is great for those kind of like knowledge checks, if you will. I don't know if I'll be able to get back to it because I already closed out of it. Let me go back to viewing. And there's my form. There it is. So this is great for knowledge checks. What would be nice is I'd like to see a little bit more tighter coupling to where it would it would like basically you could have it like score the thing and then not continue unless you get like over 80% or something like that. I'd like to see a
like
little
a true
bit more
quiz.
like, yeah, kind of like conversation between the video and the form. So like the form is telling the video to continue or something like that. That would be kind of nice. Let's just go ahead and randomly answer these things and hit submit. So I did submit it, but it still hasn't gone to the video. You have to manually click continue to video, and then it will pick up where it left off. So it'd be nice if it kind of did a little bit smoother handoff and things like that. But it's super helpful for like a knowledge check, doing a survey at the end. One thing I've done in my organization is again that onboarding for Copilot. We have this Copilot, mandatory onboarding video where everybody needs to watch this video to get up and running with Copilot. But it's not so mandatory that we're like keeping track of it, necessarily. So what we want to do is we want people to attest that they have watched the video. Hey, on my honor, I say that I have watched this video all the way through. So at the end, what we do is we have an attestation form that says, I confirm that I have watched this video. Yes, I have. Please give me my license. And they have to like click OK, basically. So you could do that like at the end of the video. And then I put little 1-question quiz throughout my video. I think I had 3 questions that I like at the end of a section, I would have a little quiz question that would pop up. So I kind of sprinkled rather than 1 form with 5 questions, I had 3 forms with 1 question on them. So just a different way of doing it.
So I'm honestly surprised this question hasn't come up in the chat window, because this is one of the first questions that I get whenever I introduce interactivity in stream video with Microsoft Forms. And that's, what about the analytics and reporting on that? Being able to go back and report to see the surveys being taken over time.
Yeah, so that is found in the analytics tab right here. If you're wanting to see like who's clicking on my call outs, who's doing my forms. So in interactivity, so you go to analytics and there's a new tab for your interactivity. It will tell you like that like an average of 3 interactions per viewer. They were in for what, 18 seconds because I'm clicking around in the video, right? So one person viewed the interactivity, one person actually clicked the interactivity. So that tells you like how many people watched the video, how many people watched it long enough to hit one of my call outs or forms, and then how many people clicked on one of the call outs or forms.
Yeah.
Um, it doesn't tell me specifically the call outs, like, you know, 35% of people clicked on the link in this call out, but not in the other one. It doesn't give me that granularity,
Right.
but it tells me that people are interacting with the video.
And then as far as the analytics related to the form itself, we should, well, because it's a form, we'll be able to go back and get that from
Oh,
Microsoft
yeah.
Forms.
Yeah, of course. So you can go back into Microsoft Forms and it's just a form. So you would go into like responses right here, and there's my response where I like, I just basically click the first thing everywhere.
And it's
And you can get those in
important to
Excel.
like point out here that it
Hmm.
is a Microsoft form. So you do have the ability to control things like the settings. Like, for example, John got the link
Hmm.
through responses. But if we go into settings
Yeah.
here, you're going to be able
I
to
could say like
record
only
things.
one response per person,
Yeah.
you know?
Start
Um,
times, end times, set a
yeah.
duration, allow a receipt of responses after submission. So we can still take advantage of
Hmm.
some of the forms features. Where I'm kind of going with all of this is some of the feedback that I'm getting from my users is they want it to be more like some of the LMS systems that they might be familiar with from other providers. And if we're pushing a lot of like training to stream video and now we're adding the interactivity in it, they want to have more of like a dashboard for measuring that, not only the engagement but also like who actually watched the video, collecting names. They answered these
Hmm.
3 questions along the way, so they did like view it in its completion. To your
Yeah.
point, the signing off, the attestation that they've confirmation that they've watched that video. So getting more of
Hmm.
that. So we're going back and forth a little bit from stream over to here to get that, but you can put some of that together if you need it.
Yeah. So another thing, just to show that off, I click on the form and now it says your response has already been submitted, only one per person. So like I checked that box and it did it immediately. Let me uncheck that because I also, this might be a best practice for you guys is I whoops, clicked off of it. Uh I customized my thank you message to tell people to click the continue to video button because they, maybe your viewers are kind of dumb and they don't see that. Um, no judgments. But now if I go through and I click these and I take the quiz and I submit it, now it tells me your response has been submitted. Hey, click continue to video to continue watching. Oh, here it is. I'm not that dumb. Right. So you might want to put that in there. And that's kind of a way to, make it look a little bit more embedded.